Good morning and welcome back to Trev's Cooking on a Narrowboat. This is the result of the poll I took on what you would want me to cook next. So this is the viewer's choice. There was a choice of spicy dishes, soups, or continuing with English classics. I took the results at 12 noon on Saturday, and here are the results. As you can see, there were 47 votes, 15% for spicy food, 45% for soups, and 40% of you voted for me to continue doing the English classics. Now, I forgot to take the poll down after taking the results, and it stayed up there for a while. And this now reads 14%, 43%, 43% with a tie. But the poll did end at Saturday, and the picture you can see on the screen here was a snapshot I took of that poll on Saturday. So here we go, we're going in with soups. Before we start doing soups, this week is a transition between the two. I was challenged and I can't resist the challenge. So let's see what the challenge was. I have been challenged this week. One of my subscribers and a supporter of the channel, who wishes to remain anonymous, put me up to a challenge to cook something. I don't know if you remember a TV programme that aired in England from probably the mid-90s through to about 2010 called Ready Steady Cook with Ainsley Harriott. Well, that was the sort of the challenge he's given me today. And let's go through the ingredients I've been challenged to cook with. So, here are the ingredients. I have a bag of shallots. I love shallots. Some baby chestnut mushrooms. Some diced pork. And a bottle of vintage cider. Perhaps we'll have to replace that, drink this one and put some cheap stuff in. No, only joking. And I've been told I can also use other ingredients I have in the pantry. So let's think about what we're going to cook. Right, I went away, I put on my thinking cap, as you can see, and came up with the plan of what I'm going to cook. We have the pork in the seasoned flour. We have the shallots. And the mushrooms, which were the core ingredients for this dish. To go along with it, I have 2 rings of pineapple diced up into like niblet sizes. In the refrigerator, I had half a yellow, half a red and half a green pepper left over from another dish. So 2 rings of pineapple. And also to help with some thickening of the sauce, I have diced up 2 small potatoes and a courgette. Well, actually, it's half a courgette. I decided one would be too much. And for extra flavouring, I made a bouquet garni of some fresh herbs from my herbs, which consists of some thyme, sage, and oregano. I was going to put some rosemary in it, but I thought that might be a bit too overpowering, so I left that out. And other flavourings, I diced up very finely, I did it in a pestle and mortar actually, 2 cloves of garlic. I have about 1/4 teaspoonful of dried herbs, just to give it a little bit more punch. Half a teaspoonful of sea salt, actually it's not sea salt, it's Himalayan pink salt. And half a teaspoonful of ground black pepper, and 2 chicken OXO cubes. Now let's get started, shall we? And the old saying that used to be, ready, steady, cook. So we're going to heat up some olive oil, and I'm doing this in my cast iron casserole dish. That way I can heat it up, start it all off on the top, and put it in the oven to finish it off. Whilst the oil is warming through, I'm going to light the oven. So our oil is warmed up quite nicely here. It takes a little while to warm that cast iron dish up. It's starting to boil a little bit, starting to separate the oil now, so I think it's hot enough. So into that we're going to add our pork. Yeah, just sizzling. That's okay. Now I do have a little bit of flour left over in the bag there from seasoning. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to add it in the moment, just as a thickener. We'll brown this off. Starting to fry off here now. I'll keep it moving. I don't want it sticking. I've just added the rest of that flour. There wasn't much left, but I just added it because I wanted it to brown off. I don't want raw flour in there. And the pork's getting there now. I only want to lightly brown it. I don't particularly want to make it too dark in colour. So now we're going to add our shallots. Oops. Looks like I missed a piece of skin there. Mix our shallots in. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. Looks like I'm cooking for the 5,000 again, isn't it? Now I'm going to add the potatoes and courgettes. If you're American, that is zucchini. You may have noticed I haven't added the seasoning yet, because I don't want to put that garlic in yet, because I don't want it burning. Burnt garlic is just bitter and nasty. So that's not going to go in until just before I add some liquid. There's where our peppers. I think the peppers just give it a bit of extra colour. And now our pineapple. Never made this with pineapple before. Used apples and pears before, but never pineapple. Now we start adding our flavourings. We'll start off the OXO cubes. Crumble those in here. Not crumbling as easy as the beef ones do. That's they're getting a bit old. I don't use these as often. And the other one, if I can undo it. Our garlic. And all the other ingredients, salt, pepper, whatever, and it goes. Give that a good mix in. The handles of my pan's getting hot. Now to add some of this rather gorgeous looking cider. So here goes. Henry Weston's. A little bit at a time. There's a very hot dish there and I don't want to crack my dish. You have to be careful of cast iron, not adding too much cold liquid to something very, very quickly. That hasn't been in the fridge, so it's not icy cold, but even so, it's going to be cold. I'm going to give this a good stir because there's going to be lots of nice little bits coming off the bottom there where we've fried off some of it. And we can add some more. And there's quite a bit more now because we've got some liquid in there. We're going to put the whole bottle in. I didn't get to drink any of it. Wow. Once again, if you're cooking this meal and you have children, especially in America, I know, quite paranoid about giving children alcohol. And not only paranoid about it, it's very illegal over there as well. The alcohol will cook off when you're cooking it. Or if you're scared even more, use a non-alcoholic cider. They are available. I can feel the bits on the bottom just rubbing off now in that liquid. And that's what we want to do. We want to get all those bits off the bottom, because that's the flour mainly, and we want that as our thickener. It smells absolutely gorgeous already. And I haven't forgotten my bouquet garni, which is going to go in now. I'm just going to sink it. It's tied together, that way it makes it easier to take it out at the end. I'm now going to bring that to the boil, put the lid on, and put it in the oven. Now it's just coming to a boil. I'm just going to simmer it for a couple of minutes before I put the lid on. I want it nice and hot before it goes in the oven. Time to put the lid on. So I'm going to try and keep you in shot while I do this. Open the oven door up. I put the shelf into the middle. That's about the right height for this casserole dish, etc. So here goes. Just about fits in this oven. There we go. Well, I put it in the oven. It's on gas mark 5. I'm going to turn it down to about gas mark 3 in about 10 minutes. Just want to make sure it's hot before I turn it back down again properly. So where I'm going to simmer it for about an hour or so. We'll see how it goes. So let's come back in about an hour or so. Well, I've just taken it out of the oven. It's on the stove, on the top of the stove. So let's see what it looks like. So here goes. Let's take the lid off. Oh, it's hot. Put the lid over the back there out the way. Let's give it a bit of a stir. Oh, look at that. It's lovely. Oh, that looks good. That does look good. Well, I guess it's time to try some. One bowl, one ladle, and we'll put some in the bowl. If this was smell-o-vision, oh, does that smell good? I guess I better try some. I'm going to use a spoon. Let's try a piece of that pork. Beautiful and tender. Just try the gravy. Oh, that's different. It's actually made it a bit like a sweet and sour pork. Putting pineapple in there. A mushroom. And a piece of that pineapple. And that pineapple was actually potato. Well, it's definitely more of a sweet and sour pork than what I thought it was going to be like when I do a pork and apple casserole. I think it's probably because the pineapple is actually quite sharp. I've added no vinegar or anything to make it the sour side. Very edible. The mystery supplier of the ingredients did pass by my boat to try some. Of course, we kept social distancing and had 2 bowlfuls, so I guess it can't have been too bad. Actually, I think we both thought it was very good. What can I say? Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to the mystery subscriber of mine who helps the channel and provided most of the ingredients for this that I had to come up with a dish with. It ended up by being very tasty. If anyone else wants to help along and make a dish, you're more than welcome to. Give me some ingredients and I'll try and make something out of it. That just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.